YouTube, what is up? We are back with another day. Today we are going to rip a little upper body day before we get to league night softball tonight. Thought of this idea this week. It's going to be a little cringe for some people, but we're going to do a top 5 swings of the week, and we're going to record as many swings as we can throughout the week, whether it's league, whether it's BP, and I'm just going to do a little top 5 ESPN series on that every week, and I think it's going to be cool, whether it's my swings or somebody hits a game winner in a tournament or something like that, or even in league. I think it's something cool that could be branched off. I just had this idea, wanted to share it, so we're going to start recording more. I mean, we already recording a lot of our swing content, but we're going to do more with that swing content and have a little bit of fun with that. So that's on the horizon. I think tomorrow I'm going to do that little Kelly Starrett video, or just put it in part of my lower body lift. I think I'm going to have a little bit more time tomorrow. It is currently 3 o'clock. I'm supposed to be BPing at 4. It's a 30-minute drive. There's no way we're going to be at BP by 4, so probably 4:30 BP, but that's plenty of time, hour and a half to BP before the league night, which is at 6, and we're going to get after it today. So upper body, we got incline 3-rep maxes today, some shot put throws, things along those lines. We got a new basketball hoop in here, and I was dunking on it this morning, and just a little bit ago as our warm-up. The thing is fucking sick. We're going to get some sweet content on that too, and we'll go from there. Let's get it. We're going to perform just our first couple sets in a drop catch fashion as a warm-up, and as it starts to get heavier and we can't drop catch anymore, just kind of like that 10 unit squat thing that I do where you squat with it until you can and then you just squat. I think I'm going to do that here. Just because I haven't done the drop catches in a while, I think drop catches are a really, really good tool, especially for that bench press, for that upper body and absorbing. I just haven't done it in a while. Just kind of been all over the place with softball and training wise there, and I haven't got back into it. I would really like to, because I like the feel of those. So we're gonna add them into our warm up here and press after that. So let's get it. I don't think the elbow is fully ready for like super heavy higher rep drop catches just yet, but again, I think that's one of the nice parts about your warm-ups is that you can build up to things that you're trying to get to eventually at a little bit lighter load while still being productive. Like, I've got to warm up regardless, might as well warm up in a way that I want to warm up and then get to my heavy weights after it, rather than just doing the same thing over and over again. Not a power lifter, so I'm not really worried about greasing the grooves of that bench press when I'm warming up. So I think there's a little bit more productivity to be there with the drop catches. Let's keep ripping. I can't remember if I talked about this yet or not, but I finished the Iliad. It was the first book that took me to longer to finish than Super Training did. The style of writing wasn't personally my favorite. It's probably a little bit of my TikTok brain, iPad like boyness of me. But there's a lot of repeating, a lot of like kind of run-ons of like they would list whole lineages of people and like where they came from and their background story. People that had like no matter, like he would list the whole lineage of a soldier and then kill the soldier instantly. I was like, well, that was kind of pointless. Like I just learned that whole dude's life story and then you just get murdered in one strike. But it was a really cool book. There was a lot of really good messages. Again, not my style of writing. It's probably more of an audiobook for me. I don't really love audiobooks, but that's kind of more of a story. I think I'm going to listen to the Odyssey rather than read the Odyssey and see if it's a little bit better listen than a read. But I love the message there in that book and just kind of the thought process that don't fight fate. Like losing in a battle, losing and putting yourself out there is not a bad thing. That is just fate. That's just luck. It's like their way to explain randomness. But you put yourself out there. If somebody challenges you in war, you go to war with that person, you go to battle, and there's no shame in losing that battle. There's only shame in running away from that battle. And I think that's an amazing life lesson, right? Like the battles that are put in front of you, you're not going to win them all, right? And you just need to accept that, whether that's in sport, whether that's in life, whether that's in business. It's more so just about accepting that and trying to prepare to the best of your abilities, to the best of your like lineage. Like that's a lot of the times they kept getting killed by Hector, who was the son of a god, and Achilles, who's the son of a god, and they would get killed by these people. And it wasn't that they got killed, but it's like that person just has better genetics in quotations than you, but at least you went to battle with that person and gave it your all, rather than run from the god, run from fate, run from randomness, because randomness, fate, gods, they're all going to be there, and the only benefit to running from it, or the only thing that you get from running from it, is the shame, and that battle still stands there. So I thought it was a really, really cool message there of just facing things head on, and it was cool to look at how people kind of explained the randomness, right? Like they had respect and fear towards the gods, and then things of sacrifice. And I think there's a lot of benefit to the things that we're talking about. Obviously, they took it a little bit too extreme, and this is kind of human nature to go from one extreme to the next, but they're like sacrificing every moment to these gods. But they were taking moments, like the benefits of that is they were taking moments to appreciate things and pray towards things and speak things into existence and took it a little bit too far with the sacrifices, but now we kind of went on the opposite side to like counteract that too. Now we don't take time to sacrifice anything, we don't take time to believe in anything bigger than us, and we try to like explain away everything, right? At least they were kind of open about it's not in our hands, and I think a lot of life is not in our hands, and the more we can breathe and be all right with that, the less anxiety I think we have, and the more we just be, okay, we prepared, we went to battle, we did everything we could up in preparing to that battle, and we still lost the battle. Man, that's just fate, that's just randomness. Let's get to the next battle, right? Obviously, it's not a life or death battle, the battles that we face. Or they go to the battle and the guy beats you, and it's, I didn't prepare, I wasn't ready for that battle, and using that shame to get ready for the next battle, right? But I think there's just a lot of really cool messages in there, and I see why it's such a like staple of a read for people. It's just the style kind of took me a bit longer to read. It's not like I want to say it's a hard read. It's not a Nietzsche, like you were like, you have to reread it 12 times, you're like, what the fuck's happening? I think it's more so just like the run-on sentences and the lineages and the battles. Like, everybody died in one stroke. There was never like an epic battle where they're like, it's like one dude threw the spear and killed the person, or one dude threw the spear and missed, and then the next dude threw a spear and killed the person. And it was very short battles, which was kind of entertaining and funny because it was probably like a very realistic thing. It's like, it probably wasn't this epic battle like sword clashing. It's probably just a dude swung a sword at you and got you and you died, right? So I thought that was kind of cool, and he's pretty realistic with like the gruelness and the cruelness of war, and that part was kind of cool. I took that message. So finished the Iliad. It was a good read, but not my style, right? So I'm gonna listen to Odyssey and audiobook and get to this bench press. Let's go. On that kind of Iliad note, I think one of the funny things we do is like the gods that we pray to now are like the algorithm gods, right? The Instagram gods, the Twitter gods. And one of the things that drives me insane is the bitching about the algorithm, right? Like the bitching about it's not pushing my videos, it's not doing that. It's like, if you're actively shadow banned and they're doing like they're actively trying to censor you, right? That's a different thing, right? And then that's freedom of speech talk. We need to work on that. We need to talk about those things, and we need to do it, right? Nobody in the strength conditioning community is talking about anything nearly important enough to be censored or be shadow banned, right? None of us are, okay? So if the stuff isn't working on Instagram and you're just shying away from because the algorithm, I'm not gonna do it because of the algorithm. Dude, shut up, right? Just put your art out there, just go to war, and then fate will determine it, dude. Then it's not on you, right? And I think that just frees up a lot of people. Like, stop worrying about the fucking algorithm. Stop praying to the algorithm. Stop worshiping the fucking algorithm. Like, it's not real. You can't think about it being real. Otherwise, you get stuck in your head and you start making content in this way and doing things in this way, or just sitting in that bitch fest of, oh, my stuff isn't doing well because the algorithm. No, dude. Your stuff isn't doing well because it doesn't mean something to other people. It's not resonating with other people. And whether that's entirely true or not, maybe you did say something a little on edge and the algorithm didn't boost it, whatever. You cannot sit there and live your life worshiping these algorithm gods, and worshiping in the sense of when you swear them off, when you bitch about them, that's you're worshiping them. You're putting them above yourself. You're thinking about them way too much, right? Just put your art out there. Go to war, face the battle, let fate take care of the rest, right? And if your art is good enough, you prepared for battle enough, you win enough wars, your stuff is going to end up working out. All of us are going to get stuck in social media slumps, right? You can't pay attention to those things, you can't get thought on those things. It's just, I just see so many coaches, they just come bitter and angry about all these things. And I'm like, you are making this way more important than it is. None of us are being censored on a level that, like, we just don't say important enough things to get censored, right? So, and whether that's entirely true or not, obviously I know there's something like you can post I've used political memes before, with the one with Joe Biden, it had almost 1,000 shares, and like, I think it had like 700 likes, which is an insane ratio, right? If 1,000 shares and 700 likes is insane, right? So something's probably going on there. The AI recognizes political figures, doesn't push it, whatever it is. It doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter. Your brand needs to be strong enough to not matter with the algorithm, right? And the more that you sit and focus on the algorithm, the more that algorithm's gonna dictate your content, the more that it's gonna like rule you, right? And the more it's gonna affect your content and your business, right? So I just think we worship algorithm gods right now instead of like real out there gods. And the same people that worship these algorithm gods are the ones that are like anti-religious, anti-spiritual, anti all these things. We're all science-based. It's like, yeah, and then you go and bitch about this random algorithm out there, right? Like, I just think it's fake news. Like, if your content sucks and it's not working, it's just because your content sucks, it's not working. And that's speaking to myself, too. Like if it's not working for a reason, whether it's you're just not there yet, it hasn't clicked yet, whatever it is. I can't sit there and focus. Why don't all of my YouTube videos have 1,000 views? Why do they only have this? Why does that really good video only have 200 and this one has that? Like, can't sit there and focus on those things, right? Unless you're actively going to go do something about changing it. Like you can sit there and focus like, oh, that's why I'm going to go make an active change to go do it. Like this video was better. This video resonated better. This video had a better thumbnail, whatever it is. Like if you're going to go change it, okay, then go do it. I just despise the coaches that say they're not posting on social media because of that. It's like, dude, you're putting way too much weight on that. If your art's good enough, it's going to find a place. Whether it's now, whether it's 10 years from now, whether it's 20 years from now. But that's fate. That's your legacy that you want to leave on this earth, right? It's not that one post and in that moment, right? We're just looking for too much instant gratification, right? Have enough faith in yourself to know that your content's worth something, or your algorithm, whatever their algorithm says about it or not, then go post it. And then if it is worth something, if it doesn't work now, 10 years down the road, somebody's gonna be like, I remember what he wrote in this blog. I remember what he said in this YouTube video that changed my life. And that's what matters, right? None of the rest of it matters, okay? So if you're not gonna make a change about it, don't bitch about it, and don't worship things that shouldn't be worshiped. Worship things that should be worshiped, right? That are a little bit more important. Let's get it. Oh, those are super unclean. I was all over the place with that. I don't know what was going on there. But that'll probably be the last drop set. Let's get to some real sets, and I'll show you the superset after the next set of these. Let's go. VP partner just told me he got out of work early and is gonna get dropped off at the softball fields at 4, so I gotta hurry up and stop yapping. Let's rip it. 3 reps. Dude, Jesus Christ, Austin. Figure it out. God damn, I gotta scoot back. I bodied myself twice on that bar. Ugly, but we'll figure it out. Let's go. Spinal movement of the day. Again, another one of my favorites is this squatted spinal jump rope. So I like the bear crawl spinal jump rope to just kind of get them used to the feeling, but this squatted one, getting people to segment their spine like this in this squatted position without moving all over the place really shows you the amount of control that they have over their bodies and specifically their spines and their ability to segment and move their spine. And I really like this one both as a diagnostic and as a performance tool, just to get them to move that spine and segment in a bunch of different ways and give them some awareness over how their body's moving. So our goal when I'm teaching this is to get them really extended to find this position, to find this position, to find this position, to find this position. What you'll find is a lot of athletes can't find all 4 of them, especially when you have them do it in a circular fashion. So we're gonna be here, we have 10 total circles, jump roping around, finding that lateral position, coming all the way down, having something to support you can really help get into these positions. And we're just circling. You're gonna have them reverse in, go around down here. Ooh, boom, just like that, that's money, let's go. With these, we got the reverse of what we did last week with these GHR twists, chest down rotations here, big, nice, long rotations here, so we're trying to find nice and long, then we're just swinging. We got 10 of these. Reverse Russian twist. Just like that, weaponize that spine, let's go. We're gonna stick with these Supercat throws. Field's kind of taken. I was gonna do some med ball chest toss for distance there, but stuck with the good old Supercat today. Not the worst thing in the world. I've been kind of enjoying these. So got 10 pounds on here total with the band resisted. Sitting here throwing it up, let's go, 5 of them. Ooh. Woo. Let's go. Almost got bodied on that last set. Wasn't very locked in. Maybe I should have greased the grooves a little bit more before sending into that, but let's get it. Let's lock in a little bit more here. Much better. Still a little sloppy. We're gonna get one more set there and then rip the accessories before we gotta go to BP. We gotta be quick. Let's go. I think this is gonna be heavy, but even if it's not, which I don't think it is, I'm not talking shit to you, weight. I think it's gonna be heavy. I'm gonna respect the weight here. Even if it's not, we're gonna have to make this our last set because we are running very low on time. And by very low, I mean I'm already 4 minutes late to BP. And we got a whole lift to get to, so let's get it. Last one. Let's go. All right, so just want to let it be known that I benched that whole thing with a 5 on one side and no 5 on the other. So we're gonna be authentic here, and we fucked up. We forgot to put the 5 on, which I didn't even feel it. So that's how big of a meathead I was on there. That set didn't even feel that there was a 5-pound difference on one side or the other. But yeah, we just hit an offset set. I don't know if that's a cool thing or a bad thing, but we're not gonna lie about the weight that we did. Tough look on there. Even vets making mistakes on the weights. So let's get to the accessories and go from there. First ISO we got today is gonna be a part of the armor building series overhead and pull apart ISO. So instead of here, we're gonna be here. We're gonna be pulling down and across, holding this position here. 2 minutes, let's rip. Really try to stretch those arms wide and long. Nice little chest opener here, feels good on the shoulders. A lot easier than the straight up band pull apart ISO. Feel it really nice in that like bicep region if you got really tight bicep elbow. Really like this one. Really, again, flexing those wrists out, feeling nice and long with those arms. You wanna fight that band, pull it apart while you're pulling down. Let it drift back. Ooh, that feels nice. Ooh, that's a nice one. You can go definitely heavier with that band if you're trying to pull it apart, but honestly, I really like it for that mobility aspect. Feels like it frees up that bicep just a little bit, opens up that chest, gets you nice and long. Athletes, I really have those like crooked elbows. This one was moneymaker for the crooked elbows in the sense of like they can't really straighten their elbows. That's a lot of offensive linemen have that. They got some shit in their elbows where it's just like they're kind of always stuck here. I kind of got that a little bit with my left elbow. But get them nice and long, have them pull that apart. Feels like money, feels really good, especially after a bench press session. You can do it before bench press session as well, so they can bench press pain-free, but I like it after when we're going heavy on the bench press, opens it up, makes it feel good again. Then we can get to the rest of the accessories. Let's rip. Then we got some hand prep here with these crawls. We're gonna go lateral hops with the crawls. So I'm gonna be in a bear crawl position. I'm gonna laterally hop to the right, laterally hop to the back to the left, hit a couple reps here, 3 sets of 10 as we're going back and forth here. Ready? Boom, just like that. Really like that one. Again, same thing you would do with the ankles, prepping it in all directions. I think same thing with the force vectors for the upper body. I think it's nice to prepare the body, upper body for some of those fall positions and pushing off in all those different positions, landing in different parts of your hands. Even there, I was feeling a little on my like lateral part of my hand. I guess that would be medial hand if I was going and not anatomically correct. We go medial out here, but the medial part of that hand, which is kind of cool, like just different parts of that hand working that you wouldn't really get. But 3 sets of 10 there, 3 sets of 10 gang. Let's rip it. And then I think we got some rows. I can't remember what else we got. We'll figure out what else we got. I'll look at the board and go from there. Let's get it. Then we got these drop catch rows. Here we got 8 total reps. I really like having, I think this is a great example of like having an arsenal of tools with your athletes. I envision these chest supported, just doing it. And then I've programmed seal rows for my athletes before. So I just had drop catch rows on the board and they set them up in a seal row kind of variation this morning, which is kind of cool because I like this variation much better. And they kind of just took it up on themselves to do it. So I think that's one of the benefits of giving athletes ownership of their program is they'll pick better variations than what you got in your head. It's because you're a simpleton strength coach. Let's get it. Let's go. 8 was too late. We did 10. Probably could have get more, but we really got to hurry. I'm already 10 minutes late. Let's go. Finish up a little arms for mom series here. 3 sets, 15 overhead tricep presses here. We're gonna be here. Make sure I'm in camera. I think I'm in camera. I can't really see myself. 15 of them. Let's go. Hit some curls, hit some abs, then we gotta go. Just hitting some cheater curls here. Supported on the rack here. Using it as leverage, pulling up, ripping heavy here, right? So we got 8 reps heavy, coming here, pulling all the way up. Let's go. All right. Let's go. Hit some abs, then we're out. Then, last thing we got, 15 total. Stole these from Range of Strength, no surprise here, but they're just hanging knee raises, but in a squatted pattern. It's gonna be here. I don't know who brought that dip bar out. We did not have dips today. Somebody broke in my gym. Gonna be here in the squatted pattern. Bring your legs up in that squat, bring them back down, just like you're squatting here, rather than that kind of swing back that you're doing and knees all the way up. I really like this, targets the hip flexors just a little bit more. It's money. Whew. There we go. I'll say goodbye to you in the car and we'll go from there. Let's go. All right. That is the day. Sorry, got a little rushed towards the end and we didn't get to explain everything as beautifully as we normally do. We know that conciseness and great explanations without repeating myself are like 2 great skill sets that I have. So you guys probably missed out on a ton there. But we are on our way to BP. It is going to be 4:20 when we get there. We're supposed to be there at 4, so we're a little behind schedule, but we'll make it work. One of the things that I really wanted to talk about, the whole point of the video, I wrote down like a little like, what should I talk about, is I'm back on the gallon gang, dude. Gallon of water gang. Kind of went away from it for a little bit, just because I went away from the meathead side of it. I used to be really big into it for all the wrong reasons in college, and was the typical meathead, just doing it to do it. But and I don't know, I just feel like a lot of people do it for the attention and whatever. But trying to get back on my game for health and diet and all these things. And what I found is when I'm drinking a gallon of water a day, I'm a healthier person. Not necessarily with the I put electrolytes in there. I make sure my salt intake is up. I think a lot of people can definitely probably overhydrate themselves and piss out a lot of their minerals and electrolytes and not feel amazing by the end of it. But I think that's probably 1% of the 1%, right? But one of the things that the electrolytes in the water and just having water, it's having the water throughout the day. It's almost like mouth candy for me, right? So when I'm trying to eat better, and especially guys that are trying to get out of their typical diet, they're trying to break out of habits they have with food. And a big piece of that is the mouth candy. It's like I'm used to eating at this time. I'm used to having the dopamine hit, like this big dopamine hit that you get. And I think what having that gallon of water does is suppress that dopamine hit and gives you like little spikes of it. You have a little bit of electrolytes in your water, tastes a little bit better. That's why I'm not totally against like the element stuff. It's not the best for, I mean, it's not good for what it sells it in, for the hydration piece. The electrolytes and the minerals in there are not amazing, but it makes your water taste better. And I think the more you can get that little like small dopamine hits, and not in a way where they're having to go get a soda, not in a way in which they're crushing McDonald's to get that dopamine hit, but you can get it through their water. I think that's super good for people trying to lose weight or just get back on the wagon or break out of their habits, right? I think replacing some of their old bad dopamine hits with new dopamine hits is important. Same way you would replace like social media with something like a sport, right? The best way to get people off social media is to keep them entertained with sport, right? So like we don't really have an issue with phones at our gym for that reason, right? Because we keep our athletes entertained. It's fun to be there. So not a lot of athletes are popping in and out of their phones because their training doesn't suck, right? You replace the one dopamine hit, the unhealthy dopamine hit, with a little bit of a healthier dopamine hit, right? And I think you can do the same with food and water. And I think water has been a very beneficial part of that for me, as stupid as it sounds. So again, I'm not full meathead gallon gang, and I don't love the look. Like I already look like a big enough meathead. I don't need to look like more of a meathead carrying around a gallon of water, but it has helped me get rid of some of those urges to go eat, or urges to go get a piece of candy, urges to like just eat some shit food, right? Or even if regular food, like if I am cutting, right? Like, so when I am going on like hard diets and you just need to eat less, right? Like, so if I have a photo shoot or I'm doing something like that, and you're just going to be hungry sometimes, right? Or you just want something, you want to taste something, right? You want some food. I think the electrolyte water really has helped with that, and I've felt a ton better. And part of it's a placebo too. It's like I'm just making healthier habits. I think getting people to make healthier habits, regardless of if those healthier habits are completely backed up or not, regardless if they're the best, healthiest habits or not, it's healthier than what they were before. And I think those are all beneficial things. And I think we should probably stop shitting on all of the things that they do. And I get like, so I'm gonna make the gallon of water challenge cool again and continue to rip that until it no longer serves its purpose, and it has not served its purpose in the past, but right now it's serving its purpose, and I'm going to use that tool. So I'm going to go to BP, and I appreciate you guys watching and supporting the video, even though it was a little bit rushed today. Got a good pump in, feeling great. We're going to hit some dunks tomorrow on the new hoop and go from there. Keep chopping wood. Let's go.